It's got 9:38 a.m. and the question we are raising now in the next interview is how objective is mainstream media in covering global developments and the latest being the return of the Taliban. And there's so much being said on mainstream media. And also, when one looks at media right across the entire world, it does appear as if mainstream takes its cue from other media. And we know the major players, the dominant players right across the entire world, the likes of Fox News and CNN and the BBCs. And we find that in many countries, and also in a country like ours in South Africa, where people and presenters and personalities, media personalities, take their cue after watching the likes of CNN, and it's a copy or a cut and paste mentality. And that is basically what they bring forward to the audiences on a local level. And this is exactly what has happened here in South Africa. There was a 5-minute viewing of a prejudiced mainstream CNN clip, and based on that, certain conclusions were reached by one of the mainstream media outlets. And someone who had obviously was horrified at this particular development is Mohsin Suliman. And we joined on the line by Mohsin Suliman. He has written an open letter to the presenter of 702, Clement Manyatela, and where he actually highlights a lot of this and the prejudices that go along with it. Mohsin, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Juma Mubarak to you and all the listeners. May Allah bless the lives of all Muslims throughout the world.
I mean. Well,
Alhamdulillah.
Mohsin, obviously, your letter, the open letter that you have written, has been obviously been on social media for the last few days, and it has been shared extensively. And it does actually highlight the problem that I am talking about in terms of how objective is the mainstream media when they cover global events, and where do they get their information from?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Basically, if you really think about it very deeply, the misinformation that's propagated by the mainstream media is actually weaponized to the extent that if you can recall, after 9/11, George Bush waged war on Iraq and Afghanistan, using the pretext of the weapons of mass destruction, which we all know today has been a false pretext. And based on that, 1 million Iraqi lives have been lost, a 250,000 Afghanistani lives have been lost. And I mean, the Middle East, Libya, wherever you look, wherever the states has put their foot, is basically a total mess. These countries will never regain their former selves again. And all this is done using the media. If you can recall, the media was literally at the forefront of those wars. BBC, CNN, and CNN. They went to the extent where Colin Powell gave us a whole half an hour explanation with diagrams on a blackboard and stuff. And CNN did all this, and those wars are justified using the mainstream media as part of their tool, as part of their weapon. So until today, CNN hasn't, or America for the matter, hasn't apologized for that illicit, illegal, false pretext war on the poor citizens of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, certainly. And also, I think what sometimes media fails to do is, besides just looking at it objectively, in terms of going back and trying to do some homework, trying to understand the context in which certain things or certain events are actually reported. And in this particular instance, we are talking about the Taliban, and we've seen so much come through with regard to the Taliban already. We're talking about the question of women, and also people obviously looking at things like the agendas that have been playing out in the background. And you've articulated all of this in your letter that you've written to 702, and talking about things like the industrial military complex lobby, talking about the people that were involved at that point in time: George Bush, Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, and all of them, and their interests and the agendas that were playing out. Now, all of this, I think it does appear that sometimes media that take their sources from the likes of CNN fail to see or fail to understand some of the background information.
Yes, 100%. Clement, I don't think he did his homework when he spoke so casually about the Taliban. And I mean, he actually used the word rapist, which is so unfortunate because at the end of the day, the Taliban did have a reputation of being a little harsh with women with regard to the dress codes and so forth, But by and large, they've been following the Quran and Allah's injunctions. And basically those are flawless injunctions, So for him to come out and label them without even knowing exactly what's been going on the ground, if you read that article explained about how and why the Taliban took over, they basically they were ruling the rural areas for some time now, and the reason why they were ruling the rural areas or why the people accepted the rule was because they court and jurisprudence judgment system was so efficient and so helpful to the locals in the disputes between one another. And this jurisprudence system was actually acquired from the Turkish Caliphate Osmani rule, So there's so much good in Islam, and yet the world don't see it. So I mean, this whole takeover was bloodless until the bombing that took place yesterday, and that too, I'm assuming or suspecting that there is an agenda behind it, because in the morning yesterday they were warning about this bombing taking place, and lo and behold, it happened in the afternoon, or in the evening, whatever it was, and quite a few lives were lost and so forth. But we're going to ignore that for now because when this letter was written, there was hardly any bloodshed that took place, and the Taliban was so magnanimous in allowing the American soldiers, basically gave, was unanimous in that they gave clemency to all enemy combatants, the local population, and NATO and American forces, and allowed them to live in peace. And yet, they are being vilified and undermined by the media and the likes of Clement. I mean, Clement, basically has a misunderstanding, and in fact, even CNN portrays the Taliban as rapists when basically, there is this issue of forced marriages in that part of the world. It's a culture, and that's got nothing to do with Islam. So for him to have gone without even, like we explained, you explained, and I'm explaining now, is that I don't think he's done his homework for him to have casually labeled the Taliban as rapists. I mean, it's chalk and cheese. We can't even countenance that as truth.
Yes, Mohsin, I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to go for a quick ad break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Inshallah.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the taste with Kick.
Africa. For your convenience, the Africa Muslims Agency's Durban office has moved to 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, Durban. Our friendly staff are eagerly awaiting to receive, advise, and share with you the current ongoing campaigns and projects that you have been supporting for the last 35 years. Visit us at 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, or call 031 207 5676. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
What makes Randary Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well. In Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa, donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Did you know that you can get the latest humanitarian news and updates from the Al Imdad Foundation by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube? You can also receive our flash updates via WhatsApp by adding 082 591 6430 as a contact and sending us a WhatsApp message with your name. That's 082 591 6430. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
The time is just gone 10 minutes to 10 a.m. as we continue with our discussion this morning with Mohsin Suliman questioning the objectivity of mainstream media in covering global developments. Mohsin, just to continue, and I think you make some very, very important points. And one of the issue that you actually raise and what mainstream media and sometimes presenters at mainstream media fail to realize is when they're looking at global issues, when they're looking at global events from a certain perspective, they don't seem to be doing their homework, and also at the same time not giving credit where it is due. And the point you raised, for instance, of the Taliban, where one looks at a superpower like the United States of America. We've seen it in the past with the Russians. We've seen it in the past with the British as well, where you look at the Taliban, a few thousand and not even an organized army. You talk about wearing flip-flops and the like. And this, you mentioned, is a mind-blowing event. Now, sometimes these people don't think along these lines, that how could a super or a mighty power be defeated by what is termed and what they called a ragtag army?
Gee, 100%. They haven't given credit to the Taliban. They in fact, you can see there's so much sour grapes going on. They're looking for excuses, and there's retribution and recriminations between them. The President Biden has lost his ratings recently, and so forth and so forth. And lo and behold, when the ratings are down and they're under the cosh, and the next thing you know, there's a bomb blast, and maybe they want to wage another one terror, because this morning I believe he said that he's going to leave no stone unturned to find the perpetrators of that particular bomb blast. So we've heard this narrative before. We've seen this playbook. We've read this playbook before. And the whole world knows now all about the West and its nefarious ways. I personally request all my brothers and sisters to take a serious interest in all these matters with regard to the media and how CNN and other various media groups manipulate the narratives throughout the world, even in Palestine for that matter. Where Israel, for example, the United Nations has passed so many resolutions against them. They commit so many atrocities against the people of Palestine, and yet they are treated with kid gloves by the American media and by the American government, obviously. And the list goes on, So it's important for our people to, besides taking an interest, doing the homework, becoming less apathetic, learning about current and past events. We should inform ourselves, but also at the same time, we should get involved, engage with these people, in fact, write letters to the Complaints Commission, the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, write letters to 702, write letters to CNN, and even if it means picketing or marching to these offices to voice our displeasure at the bias reporting, I think it's very important.
Well, definitely. In fact, this was an issue I was going to raise with you because I have got a question that's come up on the screen to ask you whether you have registered a complaint with the BCCSA and 702, because this cannot be done only by yourself, and also for people generally, merely complaining on WhatsApp is not good enough.
100%. I have lodged it, whether it went through or not, but I think we need more than one, and I think people should write it. Use probably my WhatsApp letter as the basis, and write letters of their own with their own names and so forth, so that we create a pressure group, and even if they are even if nothing happens and nothing comes out of this here, the little pressure that they feel might make a difference, and next time around perhaps they might be a bit more cautious in how they discuss matters of the Middle East and Muslim issues and so forth.
Well, Mohsin, Jazakallah khairan so much for that and for your time with us this morning here on Salam Media, on News and Views. We wish you a wonderful Jummah, inshallah. Allah protect, Allah grant you safety as well and good health.
Ameen. Jazakallah so much, and Jummah Mubarak to the listeners once again.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.